the hell do you have on? So
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Capsule Selection. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. Sitting back, I had pulled out a few fragrances to actually do a conversation with you guys, but I felt like coming and compelled to talk about a conversation that is in the zeitgeist always. These are great conversations to have in a platform and community like we have here at the Dry Down, because it's one that you've already known that I don't stick to a script of just talking about fragrances. I love talking about the conversation around men's lifestyles, the clothing, the shoes, the actual cigars, wines, everything about my lifestyle that I enjoy, I want to put on this channel, and I have. So you guys are secure in knowing that these conversations are coming from a well-placed manner. And so today I want to talk about something that is not about notes, not about bottles, not about brands and names, about perfumes. We're going to talk about strategy tonight, just from a casual conversation style. Real gentleman strategy. So when we talk about fragrances, it isn't just something that you spray on. I often say that because it means something. It's an ethos that I live by. It's something that you communicate to a person when you wear a fragrance on. And that person, outside of yourself, you put on something to enjoy, something to feel energetic, energized, or sexy, or alluring, and you're doing that to communicate something of a message. And when it comes to attraction, scent is a language all of its own. And over wearing fragrances the last couple of years, the conversation around fragrances being panty droppers, to sex appealing, to allure, even myself pushing fragrances that I know do these things in the compliment factors. They do things well because they're made for that, they pick up on those auras, I should speak. Those scent profiles that are sweet, warm, sexy, candy-like, even some leathery, things that women truly enjoy to smell. These things are baked into our fragrances through and through. We're getting away from a lot of fougères, which I don't mind. I have enough fougères to imply authoritative notions when I'm in my business meetings, but I'm truly enjoying what it is to have sexy, profoundly sexy fragrances. So this video, I want to break down 8 subtle ways that it shines that a woman is really enjoying your fragrance, absolutely loves what you smell like. And that's something that is not always said directly. You get these notions, and sometimes we as men, these things go over our heads. We don't even know, sometimes a woman will say something or nudge us or say something a little bit offbeat, or even just stick around and linger longer. That's what I want to talk about here in this video. And so if this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through understanding of different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines, with a little bit of lifestyle content thrown in there as well. You know how I love to do the lifestyle content. We're in one today. We're going to talk about fragrances in a way that are really about the attraction and allure in an anecdotal way, telling you storylines and telling you ways to pick up subtle hints. Many of us as gentlemen, I will say this. You watch this channel, you know what these suggestive notes of allure are. Many of you have heard and talked to me about the conversation of how my videos open. Some are secure in hearing that. Some think that it's a crass way of being spoken to. To me, I'm who I am. I'm not going to change my intro for anybody. That's who I am. That's what speaks to me. That's what speaks to me. If you are a person that has received compliments, you'll know where that actual comment was coming from. It was one of emphatic an impression of, it smelled like a panty dropper. And that was a very candid conversation. And that's what brought about this video, really, because sometimes we can miss, as men, some of the subtle hints that comes from a woman when she shows you that she quietly, subtly, but instinctively loves the way you smell. And so, like I said, I got 8 chapters or so, whatever, my capsules, however I want to title this, to really talk to you, because there are 8 signs, truly and really. And the reason I'm bringing this up for this week and after these conversations is because I picked 2 fragrances on this week. One is Pegasus from the brand of Parfums de Marly that I had stopped wearing for a while, and I picked it up because I had stopped wearing it. I pulled out my collection of PDMs recently to kind of buy, sell, trade. And then another brand that I've kind of stepped away from is one that is an independent perfumer, Scents of Woods. And this is the scent of, the Leather and Armagnac. And Leather and Armagnac is one of those fragrances, it's rubbed off now and I couldn't recall, but Leather and Armagnac is a fragrance that picks up the profile of Santal 33 and LV lovers. If you think that those fragrances are great, you're going to love this particular scent. And if you have a woman in your life that thinks that those fragrances smell phenomenal, she's going to truly enjoy what this one, Leather and Armagnac, smells like. Now, a lot of these times with these particular scent profiles from Scent of Woods, they say what they mean on the note, and then sometimes they don't say what they mean. This one here, along with ebony, ebony and bourbon or ebony and cognac, smell vastly different than you would expect from the name profile. This one, like I stated, LV lovers to the T, very much so one of the great scent profiles of sweet, pickleish, sandalwood, and effervescent spices, and it dries down phenomenal on the skin. Very clean smelling, very smoky, clean smelling woods is what you get from Leather and Armenier. And of course, like I stated, the brand PDM's Pegasus is one of those scents that when I pulled it out, I'm like, damn, why I don't wear this no more? And as soon as I wore it, I went out to the actual Plum Market here in Michigan. We have a chain of markets called Plum Markets, so to speak. Walked in and got a compliment while looking at, I'm trying to get a friend of mine the actual Frank Sinatra Tennessee Jack Daniels whiskey bottle. One of the gentlemen in my life that really has become a mentor for mine, and he loves Jack Daniels, so I wanted to get him the Frank Sinatra one. I walked in, was in the area where the whiskey and bourbons and things are stored in the wine section, and immediately I came across a woman, and she told me, how well the scent smells. It was pretty good, kind of. This was a flirtatious moment. She wanted to know who I was, what my name was, and things like that. I told her I had somebody in my life and things like that, and it went about our ways. But subtle hints, unlike that one, which was not subtle, sometimes we miss on those markers, and sometimes those cues need to be told to us to look for. And so for me, I'm going to break down 8 of those in this particular video. So one of the signs that I always love to see is that when a woman breaks the distance rule, which she did in this video I'm talking about, the woman in the store, she broke that distance rule. She was a woman who liked the scent. She stepped in closer than it was required for the moment. And that's what you start to get when you smell great. It's not one of the most obvious things, because sometimes women can be sneaky. They can just be a part of a situation where they want just enough space to breathe you and not really compliment, or just enough of a situation where they are putting themselves in position to be flirted with. And so a laugh, a question, a quick comment is what they expect from you, and sometimes what they give you. But she doesn't always step back right away when she comes and broaches that area. That's when you know it's a subtle hint that it's no accident she is trying to be close to you because of the fragrance you're wearing and the way you smell. That's one of the hints that I always give men when I'm talking to them, my brothers, my friends, myself. Look for those subtle signals from a woman, because when she starts to broach the distance, women want space just like we do. We don't want someone within our 2 to 3 feet boundary. When you smell great, you move over, she follows. You move over, she follows. That's someone who loves the way you smell. That's a great compliment factor from a fragrance. So flirt back. Let her know, ask her, what it is that she's looking for in a situation like the store or something like that. That's a great way to have a conversation. The next one I always want to think about is what she mentions you and not the fragrance. When a woman sees you, smells you, and the behavior behind her essence is to compliment you rather than the fragrance. So a woman will say something that they don't really, a lot of times, unless they have a man in their life they want to choose to buy something for, they rarely ask, what are you wearing? They don't really care what you're wearing. They want to know about you. So instead, she'll say things that come to her mind like, you always smell good, or when I see you, always smell great, or you smell like you got this great aura, you got this essence, or wow, that really smells great, is one of the attention grabbers when you are someone meeting a stranger. There is something about your presence that she smells, and she compliments you rather than saying what the fragrance smells like. That's a way to pick up on the subtlety of that. So her reaching out and reacting to the aura and not the perfume is something that is a triggering, that it smells great on you. You smell great. She loves the way you smell. And so that's an oral reaction. That's why I always talk about those type of scenarios, and when I'm speaking about fragrances that have done that for me. Next, she remembers you in a way that is about the scent or the scent occasion that always brings her back to a scent memory with her about you. So this is about a situation where you have someone in your life that's been around for a while. She's been around, sticking around with you, either friend, family, or significant other. When she looks at you and she looks into you and becomes around you, and she senses the fragrance on your skin, that memory that locks in with her is a scent memory that always is a subtlety. So she won't say something overt, but she'll say, damn, when was the last time you wore that? Or when, I haven't smelled that one in a while. And that's one of her cues to let you know that she loves that fragrance. She loves the way you smell when you wear that. If that's a woman in your life that you love to cater to or want to be with, wear that fragrance often, because she's telling you exactly what it is that she likes. She's not saying, damn, wear that all the time. She's going to say, you smell like that night we went to dinner. You smell like the night we connected. You smell like that night we came home and had a great time that evening. Emotional moment for her is one that you should connect to and connect with, because that's the attachment. That is the impact of the fragrance that you have on your skin. You need to run with that. I run with that. That's what you need to do. That's a great way to look at these fragrances and build a rapport with the lover you have in your life. That's a great way to wear a fragrance and have it in your collection. And they'll say that about many. It could be 10 fragrances that you wear that really impact her like that. And another way that I love to see these things is when a woman lingers in the hug. You have situations where you have women in your life, friends. You have, women that you've been around your college years. You meet them out, especially the holidays like this now, when they come back in town and you see a woman and they linger for a hug. And that hug moment, especially for a single man, you'll know and take the cue that she's lingering for a reason. It's you. You smell great. If you smell off-putting or distasteful, she's not going to lean into that hug. She sees you. She sees the aura. She feels the way you feel in her arms, and she smells you, and you smell great. So she leans in. She pauses. She's very much so at ease, and she slowly eases out of that hug. That's one to let you know the cue is there for you. She's relaxed her shoulders. She's shifted her breathing a little bit in the style, the way she hugs you, and kind of lets that deep breath out. She's not hugging you longer, but she's hugging you in a way that wants to captivate that smell and be captivated by the smell and be captivated by you in a way. And so for me, that's one way that I always think about the actual subtleties of how a woman reacts around a fragrance. It's a great way to look at it. Another way that I also see is like she borrows some of your clothes. If a woman is borrowing your clothes, she wants to be in that subtle hug affair. Like they often say nowadays, and you'll see it in some of the shorts and the IG reels, where they love to have that hoodie on. She's not getting your gym hoodie. She's getting that hoodie that you put that cologne on, that perfume, that spray that she loves the scent wise. She loves the scent of you. The way your scent mingles with that fragrance and it attaches itself to that fabric is exactly what that subtle hint is. When she says, leave that t-shirt here, when she says, leave that hoodie here, that's her conforming to being in your aura, being about you. So the hoodies, the jackets, the scarves, all those things is one thing that she loves to borrow sometimes. And she's not after the warmth. She's after the scent of you. She's after what she wants in that scent memory. She's after that moment, the intimacy, the words that were spoken in that time. She's after that. Invite that. Leave things to her house that smell great, smell like you. That way she will always be attracted to you as a human being, a man, the man who you are, the force in her life. She will always linger towards that scent. And when you wear that, it's always going to get her to a point where she feels sexual, and actually she feels comfortable in your body and in your scent profile. And so that's a great way to look at it as well. So also, when she senses you, she sees you, and that's always that flirtatious nod that a woman can give, that cold linger of eye contact, that search for your eyes, a head nod. They do that so often that sometimes it could be a microcosm of an expression, but sometimes when you smell great, if you walk past or women walk past you and you're at a situation where there's a hallway and you turn and look and she turns to look and she nods her head, that's a microcosm or a microaggression letting you know that expression, it doesn't lie. It tells her when she tilts that head, even barely, without, when she passes you, she's tracking that scent trail on you. She's looking at that sillage, smelling it, and it was the curiosity is the turning of her head. That's the interest in that fragrance. That's the interest in you and the way you smell when you walk past her. That's another phenomenal way to look at the situation of subtlety when a woman smells a fragrance on you. Another way that I would think in a compelling way is that I would say a woman gives an emotional compliment and not a technical one. When she tells you, so to speak, of a moment that you guys had together, and versus that smells like patchouli. A woman doesn't describe a fragrance like I do in my channel, like we do in our wordplay. Even if I give anecdotal storylines and things like that, she's not going to describe it as I smell bergamot. She's going to describe it as what this fragrance feels like to her. Describing how it makes her feel is one of the ways that she's going to give that subtle hint that it smells good on you. So she's going to tell you, oh, that smells warm, or that smells cool, or that smells aquatic, or even that smells good. That smells like you smell clean. That smells like you smell sexy. Those are her adjectives and verbs to give you notation of the comforting, the masculine way you should feel, the attractive cleanness that you should feel. And the way she's trying to convey the message that you smell great is through those words that she's speaking that are very, very simple. They're not something very performative or theatrical like I can do here on my channel, where I'm trying to express to you how a fragrance smells on me and what I've gone through as a far-sighted and nearsighted scenario of speaking the way of an editorial or a review should go. She's telling you from the way she smells this fragrance just in the air, and she's not going to be super complimenting. She's going to be somewhat of complimenting and emotional because it's an emotional thing for her, but she feels that fragrance on a deeper level. So she's going to actually say something, and that's not something that all women do. So when you get a woman in your life that has a flirtatious feel to you and she says something about the fragrance, take that as a compliment to you and not just that perfume. And finally, what I'll say, I'll kind of wrap this up. What I would say next is one of those things that she times her conversation in a way that is built around proximity, and that's a date night thing and a lounge night thing. So when you're out and you have a great fragrance on, say something that's very, very loud, Jubilation 25, Smoking Hot, things that I always talk about that have a very loud presence, things from Blue Sapphire, great smelling fragrances that can lead a woman in, allure, bring her to your scent, track your scent. She's paying attention to you when you speak after she gets close to you. She wants you to feel like she wants to stand close to you. And so for her, that is no small feat. That is something that she does with intentionality because she's choosing you in that moment. She's choosing the way she wants to be around you. She's showing you that you were tracked down. She giving you the eye. She asking you, at the bar, if you're by the bar together ordering drinks, and she looks at you and stares at you. She's opening herself for the opportunity to be chosen. And that's the atmosphere that a fragrance can do. And that's the atmosphere that I'm speaking on in that particular moment. That's one of the things I love about perfume. That's what it does. It's a great, great way to have opening conversation, opening dialogue, opening to interpretation that leads to subtle invitation of you and that woman having a connection. So this was just a great video for me to think about and talk about with you guys. Hopefully you guys got some entertainment and education from this, as you always do with my channel. This is just a little lifestyle jaunt that I want to talk about because, like I said, speaking to you guys and talking about this scent profile of Leather and Armanier, which is like Lovers and Santal 33. It's a great scent profile, and it really got me a great attention-grabbing compliment. And then as well, Pegasus. Pulled it out in the sweet, powdery almond warmth that you get, the metallic almond warmth / coolness, even from that metallic, but it has this warmth that's underneath it from like a patchouli, heliotrope type of scent profile. You get that on your skin and you smell wonderful. You smell clean. You smell elegant. You smell refined. And that's something that a woman will love when you're wearing a power play suit, double-breasted, navy pinstripe with the red tie, with the soft blue shirt, nice little double strap monks, cap toes. You're going to be chased, and that's what women love to see, and that's what women love to compliment on. So, as always, you guys, I noticed you guys know about this. A lot of you do, but the ones who don't, I hope you got some education. As always, women genuinely love the way you smell. She's going to say something. She's going to use her body language to say something. Her timing, her tone, all those things matter. So the way that she tells her story to herself to accept you in, this is what she's going to bring to the table. Fragrance isn't the finishing touch, though. Remember that. It's strategy, it's memory, and it's connection. But it's not the finishing story. It's not the finishing touch. You need to finish that touch off yourself by bringing your personality out. As always, you guys, since it's memory, collecting this legacy, and community is culture, and we here to Dry Down, we are the culture. And you guys who are part of this channel and are part of this hemisphere of perfume words, just drop in below. Drop in some more hints if you have some. I'd love to hear yours and how you've connected with women and how the brothers here on this channel can help and understand when we do miss those subtle cues, because we are men and we often do. There's nothing wrong with that. You can miss a subtle cue. Should we like that? Think about the things. But focus on all these are here on this particular list profile. I hope you got something fun from it. As always, like I said, we are the Dry Down, we are the culture. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay bold, stay balanced, stay blessed. Peace.